I'd like to greet all human beings all around the world with universal greetings of peace and the blessing of God be with you. Good blessed Monday evening, June the 29th, 2020, time of the vision, time for change, time being 6:30 p.m. First, I'd like to say, me and my household is praying for the city of Chicago. We're praying for every place all around the world, but we praying for the city of Chicago, a place that I grew up, born and raised. Father's Day weekend, I believe it was about 106 people shot, and I believe about 14 killed, and amongst those were children. This past weekend here, it was 47 people killed in the city of Chicago, and I believe 16 of them were children. And anybody that's a normal thinking being, human being that is, we know these children has nothing to do with whatever these adults are doing, whatever is causing them to shoot and kill each other, especially in the black community. I want to get one thing clear and straight to all the people that watch my YouTube videos, because me and my two young daughters went to Carbondale and a couple other places in that area in southern Illinois the last couple of days, and sitting down with individuals that had been in confrontations with other individuals. One happened to be one that had got shot twice in the leg, and they asked me, was I a part of any of the organizations here in Charleston, Missouri or Southeast Missouri? I wanted to be clear, I'm not. I sat down and spoke at a meeting here on Monday. I believe it was June the 22nd, 2020, here in Charleston, Missouri, Mississippi County, at 700 Cy Williams Avenue or Street or whatever it is, at the C.F. Bowen Center, formerly known as the Lincoln School, where the only place blacks could go to school here in Southeast Missouri, well, Charleston, Missouri, Mississippi County, until about 1961 when they won a federal lawsuit, which allowed them to go to the Charleston, Missouri Consolidated Schools number 7, known today as the Charleston R1 School District. But I sat down because I was asked to come, and everybody had a voice to speak on the agenda that they wanted to speak on. Myself and another individual was amongst the two that spoke up on racism here in Charleston, Missouri, Mississippi County. I think that's one of the most leading things that's keeping the black community down, besides black on black crime and lack of black unity, a lack of more than one black voice, you know. But I came and spoke, and I let it be known what I see was wrong, besides, you know, blacks need to unify as one, get on one page, and the only way that they can do that is an open forum, and there's not just one voice. You see, when you got one, when you got one voice, then you got what you have, what they said in Cuba, Libya, and other places, which I didn't see them really being dictators. They just overthrew their government, because their government was like this government here in the United States. Anybody know the history? The United States was formed on murder, rape, and deception. That's why if you look around the world, you see, not just around the world, but around this nation here in all 50 states. And they said that they was about to make the District of Columbia the 51st state. But you see they tearing down these monuments. They taking down these Confederate flags because the realization is coming in of why, what these people done. You see what I'm saying? During and after slavery. But that's another thing to talk about, because some people don't want to talk about that. But you know, me, myself, for me and my family, I'm going to continue to talk about racism. I'm going to continue to talk about the Charleston R1 school district here in Charleston, Missouri, Mississippi County. I'm going to continue to talk about the Charleston, Missouri Police Department here in Charleston, Missouri, Mississippi County. I'm going to continue to talk about the present Sheriff Department here in Charleston, Missouri, Mississippi County. I want y'all to take a look. Aim that, and just keep aiming that camera until it go past. It seems like every time I come out to get ready to make a YouTube, law enforcement to come down. We'll focus back over here. But this is what I want to tell y'all. I'm independent of any organization, groups, or anything down here in the state of Missouri. I am part of a global wide organizations that's fighting to get these racist flags and racist movements down. I am a part of a organization that's global, that's fighting against white police getting away with killing blacks. I am a part of an organization, a global organization of blacks killing blacks. You see what I'm saying? And I am not. When I was in Cairo today making a video, some people asked me the same thing again. Are you a part of these organizations down here? I'm not. And if anybody want me to speak, then when I speak, I'm not speaking amongst a whole bunch of other speakers, because my agenda is going to be my agenda. It ain't going to be an agenda that somebody give me. You see what I'm saying? I'm independent of these groups. I have nothing against these groups, but me and these groups is on a whole different page. You see what I'm saying? I want unity in our community. I want blacks to stop killing blacks. But at the same time, if my voice be the only vocal voice that speak out in the open against this racist Charleston R1 school district, against this racist Charleston, Missouri, Mississippi County Police Department, and this racist Charleston, Missouri, Mississippi County Sheriff Department, this racist 33rd Circuit Court here in Charleston, Missouri, Mississippi County, this racist City Hall down here, then my voice will be the only voice in this area, if that's what it takes. You see what I'm saying? I don't want to be a part of nothing else. You see, if you ain't experienced it, then you don't know what it's like. I experienced it. My daughters and them experienced it. Every time I go up against any of these racist people, you see what I'm saying? Or any individuals that's doing things to oppress the black community, they always bring my daughters in it. Some of them bring my daddy in it. But that's what cowards do. You see what I'm saying? That's the history of this country. You see what I'm saying? The history of this country is to try to make our children think like little slaves. Think like little servants, but I won't allow my two daughters to do it. I won't allow it now, and when they get grown, if they decide to be like that, like little slaves, I don't want them around me. You see what I'm saying? My daddy experienced so much racism here in Charleston, Missouri, Mississippi County, and my mother did too, even though she was born and raised, she was born in Arkansas, but was raised in Bell City. But when my daddy got out the military in 1947, he experienced racism here before he left, He experienced racism while he was in the military. How could you go be drafted in World War II to fight against the most racist individual probably on the planet at the time, Adolf Hitler, and you black? Then when you get there, you separated from the white troops. So who are you fighting against, Adolf Hitler or the United States? Actually, both. Because when they came back out, the first thing they decided to do is move from the state of Missouri and move to Chicago and raise all 9 of us. You see what I'm saying? And I thank God they did, because I wouldn't have wanted to be raised down here in Charleston, Missouri. There's nothing against it now, but I would have been dead or on death row. You see what I'm saying? If God is willing, in due time, in due season, I'll be moving my 2 young daughters to a place where they'll walk in a courtroom and they won't see all white officials. You see what I'm saying? Running it. They walk into a police department or see police on the streets, they won't see all white except one. You see what I'm saying? They won't go down to City Hall and see these same families for decades, probably centuries. 99% all white. They'll see all nationalities. You see what I'm saying? They'll go in the hospital and they'll see black doctors and black nurses. You see what I'm saying? They'll go into supermarkets where they'll see blacks have their own supermarket. They'll see something different than they done seen in the last 14 or 15 years. You see, some people don't like that. Some people call that racism. You see what I'm saying? If you call that racism, then you must be racist and you must be ignorant, or you must accept what's going on. Because I'm not the only one don't accept it. Because all you got to look in every different state. You can even look in Cape Colorado, they taking stuff down. Every other state, white folks is tearing these monuments down. You see what I'm saying? White folks is among black folks and other people that's sick and tired of being sick and tired of this racism. In Charleston, Missouri, Mississippi County, and if the shoe don't fit, don't wear it, but this is one of the most racist, unjust place against blacks that I ever been in my life. And this is the worstest place that I ever been as far as black leaders standing up against this racism in Charleston, Missouri, and in Mississippi County. Again, I'm independent of any leader. I'm my own voice. God is my voice. Point back down at that police car again. Every time every time I come and make my thing, that's good enough. One of them coming around. But I hope I answered everybody's question, and no disrespect to no preachers or nobody. You see what I'm saying? But don't know preachers. Hey now. Don't know preachers. Don't know leaders. Don't know man or no woman. I don't work for nobody but God. And God knows Mississippi County, Charleston, Missouri is one of the most racist places on the face of this earth. If you voting black folks, if you want to follow my lead, this who you vote for. Give them a chance. Give them a chance to beat out the present serve here in Charleston, Missouri, Mississippi County. I never had an issue with Keith Moore. Hey, how y'all doing? I never had an issue with Keith Moore about racism. I never had an issue with Keith Moore about injustice. But I have had an issue with the present police chief here in Charleston, Missouri, Mississippi County, and the present sheriff of Charleston, Missouri, Mississippi County, on racism and injustice. All you got to do is just take a look. Any journalist, independent journalist, get a court order. Hey, how y'all doing? All right, go to 3. Hey, listen, I'm about to get security on y'all. Y'all looking too good. Hey, this should be Black History Month. Y'all take care now. But if we can get an independent journalist to subpoena and get all the records of the Charleston, Missouri Police Department, all the records for the Sheriff Department, all the records for the court, 33rd Circuit Court, and all the records for City Hall, I guarantee you, you will find injustice here in Charleston, Missouri, false reports and everything. Peace be still.